Hey, welcome back, casuals. It is Kai the Casual back again with casual R&R for WWE Clash in Paris 2025. You know what? For a B show, this was great. In France, I also have to give the kudos for you. 5 out of 5 stars, of course, for your participation. Because we all know this whole thing of kayfabe, right? We're all just participating in this whole thing of, you know, these guys wrecking each other for our entertainment, right? So, France, thank you very much for your loud cheers and your excitement. It is infectious. But anyway, of course, this is R&R, and it doesn't stand for relax and rest and relaxation. It stands for ratings and reviews. So let's get right into it. The very first match of the night was Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. I almost said Reef. Bronson Reef. Like the Great Barrier Reef. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Anyway. This is a pretty fun match, right? I gave it a little bit of elevation for the post-match. But this had a big fight feel to it, right? From the entrances to just them soaking up the crowd. And I would have rated it like a 3.5. But they brought out some good spots for me, and I elevated it to a 4 out of 5. Again, partially because of the post-match. Again, I'm not a huge play-by-play guy yet, but just a couple of moments that I liked was, again, this turned Reigns back into like the babyface in peril. They actually showed him struggling against this big dude, this fellow, you know, big Polynesian dude. It's like, you know, he's not going down easy, right? I love that they did that. And it's still, this match did one great thing of, despite Bronson losing, his strength was still put over, and I'm glad they did that. I'm glad Roman won, but I'm also glad that Bronson didn't go out like a punk during this. Again, you know, it didn't just take, you know, a couple of spears and Superman punches. No, Roman had to, you know, bust out some big stuff like that. My moment of the match itself was the top rope Samoan drop. I loved that. And it was like, oh, Roman previously struggled to get him up. He's like, no, he has to fight for that. He has to earn it. And this isn't just going to be easy work. They put over Roman, and he went over. But they also put over Bronson during the match, and I appreciate that they did that for him. So this match got a 4 out of 5 from me. Then came the post-match, and if you have not seen it already, the post-match was after Bronson was defeated. Here comes Heyman coming to check on his boy with the Shula Fala, and Reigns wants his shoes back, and he gets them back after Paul is begging for his life. But he's not satisfied with that. He puts Paul Heyman in the guillotine. He puts him out to sleep. He goes and celebrates on the table with the crowd. He signs his, I think it was the white pairs of shoes. He signs those, and he tosses them out into the crowd after he got his shoes back, that's super dope. I hope, you know, somebody either just keeps them on their mantle as a great memory piece from the show, or sells them on eBay. Get some cash. Do what you want to do. But before he can toss out the red pair, the thing that I was expecting to happen happened. Braun Breaker comes from the French announce table to the right and spears Roman through the table he was standing on. Beatdown proceeds because after getting with his boys and leaving, he runs down for his flying spear, like a 8 feet long run and jump into Roman. And he's already battered. He's beaten. He's being taken out on a stretcher. Well, sorry, no, not on a stretcher yet. Bronson has recovered now, and he gets in the ring, and he hits his tsunami. Shout out to Wade Barrett. But he hits a tsunami onto Roman. And they're putting him on a stretcher. Then he hits another tsunami on the stretcher. Or Roman on the stretcher. And he hits a third. And you gotta love Michael Cole really selling the beat down here, like really getting it over, like how serious this is. Now, of course, in real life, we know this is to get over Roman, you know, not being on TV once again. But he is going off to film Street Fighter. You know, he's Akuma. As Cody was off, you know, doing the same thing as Guile. But also, his child was born. Shout out to Cody and Brandy. Baby, what is it? Leilani? I think, I can't remember. But shout out to you guys for the new baby. But the beatdown almost continues before Jay tries to, you know, interrupt, I think, before the third tsunami. And he gets speared by Braun Breaker, who, reminder, Jay's in a fatal four-way with 3 other people. So, yeah, so much for worrying about yourself, Jay. But, yeah, with that spot, I think it elevated this. This is a great opening. They took a lot of time getting this done. What can you do, though? I had fun watching. So this match gets a 4 out of 5. Let's move on to the next match, which is a title match. We had the Street Profits challenging the Wyatt Six for the tag titles. And you want to match crazy with crazy? Well, the Street Profits came out promoting Borderlands 4, which I am a fan of, by the way. Love that series. They came out in the... what do they call the psychos? Because they don't call them psychos anymore. Whatever. They came out in the mask and the gear of those guys. And I do have a lot to say about this match, but I kind of want to keep this simple and short. The main story of this match was the Wyatt Six. Of course, you got to deal with the numbers game with them, but also, I don't know, it might finally be time, guys. The Street Profits were approached by Uncle Howdy, I think, on SmackDown, like Uncle Howdy being Bo Dallas, not in gimmick. He was like, "Is that really your brother? Because the Wyatts, we are a family. Is he really your brother?" Now, again, they're not actually brothers, but he was being cryptic. He was trying to, stir doubt in them, of course, and it worked. Because Montez and Dawkins at the beginning of this match were like, "I want to start. No, I want to start." Now, of course, during the match, they get it together. We have some great tag team action with them. Great work. But it ended with the Wyatt Six hitting their new combo move, which is now called the Plague, which I think that's perfect for them. So I did give this a 4 out of 5 because I was very much entertained by the match. I don't know how much... I don't know how much Can they just break up, like, temporarily? Like, can we just, like... Because I know people see Montez Ford as world champion material. I do as well, right? But... And nothing against Angelo Dawkins, excuse me. But he's definitely the Genetti of this group. And again, I don't want to criticize him. He's gotten into great shape. He's added new moves to his repertoire. He's really increased his ability, and all the credit to him. But it's very clear when this happens. I think it happened with Otis and... see, it's so bad I can't even remember his name. Tucker. That when they split, there's clearly a Genetti situation, right? Of... well, what does this person do without the, more notable tag team member? And I don't think Dawkins, I don't know. I think maybe he might be able to be good as a heel by himself, possibly. I don't know. I just want the best for these guys because I want them both to be in the company. They're both great. Montez is definitely seen as, the future world champion, dude. And I will never hate that. They are, like, besides, like, the Usos, the Street Profits are, like, my favorite tag team, so I don't want them to go. Anyway, it was a 4 out of 5 match. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. of if they're going to break up or not. But moving on, we had the Intercontinental Championship. That's a mouthful. Being defended by Becky Lynch and the returning Hall of Famer Nikki Bella. And this match was pretty much, the story of it was like, does Nikki still have it? This was her first solo match since coming back. Does she still have it? Can she hang in this modern era? That's not the Divas era anymore, right? In a one-on-one match. And they did a good job of showing that. There were a couple of clunky spots, but I do think Nikki got over the fact that she can still go. Yes, there's the viral, like, disaster kick, moment going on. I think they did still have a great match and whatnot. Again, a few clunky spots, so I did bring the rating down a little bit, but it did what it needed to do. The other part that kind of took away from this for me was, again, I have a bit of a pet peeve when these matches end in a non-finish type way. Not a non-finish, a non-finisher type way. I want to see the disarm her, the manhandle slam be the win, but no, it was what's being dubbed now as the Lynch pin of Becky just hitting a sliding like crucifix pin, and this is the second time she has done this now to retain her title. So it looks good on her as far as like hey, I can be a technical wrestler, but to me it just looks bad because I like to see them as I like the submission, I like the the slam finish, whatever, what I'm saying. That's the kind of things I want to see, either a strike, a submission, or a slam. Those are the rules of a finish for me. That's just my take, though. This is based on my personal enjoyment. So let me know what you guys rated this match. Yeah, that's it. To me, sorry, let's go with the official rating for me, though. I still had goodwill with this match because it did what it needed to do as far as showing that Miss Nicole Garcia. Again, we thank you for coming back. We know life has been very rough for you lately, but came back for the love of the game. I hope to see Brie back as well. But because of the effort, you guys, both you and Becky, get a 3.5. Again, the half is, on my channel, it's based on goodwill. And like I said, the match did what it needed to do, so. Okay, now we had a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match between Rusev and Sheamus. And I was worried about this one because I think this match started kind of slow, but it elevated as we went on. There's plenty to say about this, but I'll give you my two biggest highlights. The white noise off of the barrels into the tables. Good grief. These guys are nuts. So, bit of a bragging right over here. I called all 6 of these matches tonight. I got every result right. But Sheamus made me believe that he was going to pull it off. This is like his match and whatever, right? He made me believe that he was going to get it. Because that bro kick after that spot, it was a little like, okay, half strength bro kick, right? But it was, desperation thing. And Rusev still kicked out. I was like, okay, yeah, Rusev's winning. And then he won, apparently Sheamus like rarely taps out. So this was a cool way to, I guess in a way still put him over as a tough guy, but still like he had to, be put in the accolade. And, it was, through the snapping of the shillelagh on his back, and then hitting the accolade with that across of his mouth, and then just the bending over wrench over that just to really get it over. Yeah, I appreciated that. So, gentlemen, I enjoyed this match more than I expected to enjoy it. This match gets a 4 out of 5 from your boy. Let's get to the top 2 matches of the night because holy crap. We're in classic territory now for both of these matches. I just want to make that very clear. We had John Cena beating the crap out of Logan Paul. Oh my gosh, this was Cena's night, and I loved it. So I was worried. I was really, really worried that Logan was going to go over here. Thank you, God Almighty, that he did not. But listen, as I say that, and again, I am not a Logan Paul fan. However, and this isn't just because I'm Mr. Casual, relaxed fan, Mr. Nice Guy, and all that stuff. I do respect the work, even if I don't like a guy. And Logan, once again, pulled out, you know, his amazing athleticism, and I will give him that. There were a couple of points from him, though, tonight that brought the score down to me. This could have been a 5 out of 5 for me. But it was brought down partially because of a couple of clunky looking spots from Logan Paul. Logan Paul has gotten criticized for doing moves that other wrestlers, like, you know, have made famous, like the buckshot lariat from like Adam Page, even though he doesn't call it that. He did, and they called it on commentary too. They called out Cesaro's name on commentary when he did that elevated like European uppercut, except it didn't look good though. I don't know if maybe John didn't give himself like enough push off elevation, because I think that's how you sell that too. Or Logan was just out of position and he couldn't get him up high enough to, you know, do the full uppercut like on like, I think it's supposed to be on like the chin or chest where it's actually supposed to land. But he like ended up catching him about the abdomen. Anyway, so yeah, that kind of took me out of it just a little bit. But there was the part I enjoyed about this match, besides, you know, just Paul's athleticism, was John Cena having to put in work against Paul. He was like, I'm sure they're having this match to really get Logan over, right? And I'm sure this is probably a request by Triple H. It's like, hey, listen, we want to get this guy over a little bit. Can you try to, you know, get a classic out of him, right? And it did. Okay, so it's still a high rated match in me. It's just not getting a 5. But John Cena was breaking out moves. You know, again, he was busted out the Code Red. Busted out a Tiger Driver. When you ever see John Cena do a Tiger Driver? You know, Tornado DDT. You know, again, moves that, you know, he's once again proving the haters wrong. The man can wrestle. And he busted out an End of Days and a Styles Clash. You know, I guess, you know, just shout outs to, you know, people's opponents. So, you know, shout out to Bishop Dyer, formerly Baron Corbin for that. That was kind of cool. You know, even though he kicked out of that, and that move was like very protected in the past. But again, different person using it. And of course, the Styles Clash hopefully hinting that AJ will get, you know, one more match out of John Cena. The fans want to see it. I want to see it. Please let us see it. And I think Cena wants it too. So you mentioned afterward on the post show that he, you know, trying to shout out some people, you know, what they were doing in there. But the match, of course, ended. And I believe not 1, but 2 AAs. And I just had a lot of fun watching the match. Anyway, and speaking of fun matches, we have to talk about the World Heavyweight Championship being defended by Seth Rollins against Jey Uso, LA Knight, and LA Knight, yeah, and CM Punk. Now, good grief, this match is a lot of fun, and I think this match made me realize something, because I have a lot of high praises for triple threats, especially like the women's triple threats in WWE lately on big stages like SummerSlam and WWE and in WrestleMania. But I think multi-person matches like Fatal 4-Ways and triple threats, to be specific, are like some of my favorite types of matches. Just, you get to see a lot of your favorite stars. And yeah, my big match classics are definitely at the top of my list as well. But I think my favorite kind of match is a triple threat or Fatal 4-Way, one or the other. Like, I guess you slash that down the middle. So, yeah, but we had a lot of fun here. And of course, the story of the match is now Jey Uso's coming in here with damaged ribs from the attack earlier tonight at the beginning of the show. And there are no allies here. at the beginning of the match, Jay is taken out by Punk. And he's like, hey, like, okay, y'all didn't want to work together to take out Rollins? Cool, let's do this. And there's a lot of back and forth action during this. Everybody gets moments too. Seth is the ultimate troll. He does some of Jay's offense. He does some of Punk's offense, you know, just to say ha 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 on these guys, right? There's a moment in the match where you think at first they're going to work together, and they do. They turns beating on Seth because ultimately they want, you know, everybody wants to be champion. They want to get the belt away from him. And while they're agreeing, they're like, you know what? Hey, let's do this. And Punk does the slap, you know, on the chest of Jay, like, Jay, shout out to the Dudleys, get the table. So they set up a table on the outside, and they're about to put they're about to put Seth through it. And then Jay super kicks LA Knight and Punk. And come on, man. So Roman previously on SmackDown had said, hey, like, worry about you. Worry about getting that title. You know, do it for family and all that stuff. Get into his head like he used to, right? Not in a bad way, but in a family supporting family kind of way. Yeah. So this backfired on Jay. There's a couple of moments in this match where LA Knight gets to run wild and deal with everybody in the ring, and you gotta love that. I had predicted that Seth would win. I did not predict who would take the fall. That was kind of like a little bit of an extra point in this multi-man match, right? I predicted Jay because, you know, he's I guess as far as, you know, he was already champion, right? The only person in the match was who hasn't been champion at this point now, or world champion, excuse me, has been LA Knight. And I'm thinking, okay, he's either going to take the pin or Jay's going to take the pin. And they gave Jay an excuse to take the pin at the beginning of the show. So I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I was probably right. Jay's taking the pin. No. In this great moment at the end of the match, it pretty much becomes a one-on-one between CM Punk and Seth Rollins. My boy Punk catches Seth with a GTS and does that thing where Seth bounces off the ropes, lands into position so he can get another one. And by the way, because of the attack at the beginning of the show, I forgot this little detail. The Vision, Heyman and the Vision are banned from ringside. They're not coming back. They're at the hospital tending to Paul Heyman. And Seth previously, before the match, gave this almost babyface promo, even though he is clearly a heel, promo that he's like, oh, if I can't defend this by myself, maybe I don't deserve to be champion. Psych. Because in a hoodie and mask comes Becky Lynch, who crotches Punk. Seth hits the stomp. 1, 2, 3. And still champion Seth freaking Rollins, standing there with his fellow champion wife, Becky Lynch, for the first time in, I think the last time they were together as champions. Not even just together as champions, just together on screen, period. Because they said, like, oh no, we want to do our own thing or whatever. So they hadn't been together since like 2019. So yeah, nobody saw that coming. It was 6 years ago they were together on screen. But no, they have acknowledged in the past few weeks that this is my hot American husband, right? He is champion, I'm champion, and you know, he has a vision for this company. Well, we got something we didn't see coming. We got Becky Lynch assisting Seth for the win. But hey guys, I got this one. I got it. 6 out of 6 matches predicted. Oh, sorry. One last thing. I rated this match a 4 out of 5. Very, very good match. Just short of a 5 for me, just for a couple of teeny bit, nitpicky reasons. So I'm not going to go over that. But I love this match. Clash in Paris 4B show was actually an excellent event. You guys know the drill though. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Ring that bell notification. Of course, you know what to do. Accept my love, because I love you. enjoy pro wrestling, and you know what to do. Keep it casual. See you guys soon. Oh, one last thing before I sign off. I have a poll posted about our Kai's Top 5 videos that we do weekly for Monday Night Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown. Please let me know what you think. Option A is, should we keep Kai's Top 5 as what it is? It's kind of ranking my top 5 moments of the show and a couple of honorable mentions. Or should we do a whole show review? And I might still do my top 5 moments in that, just go through them very quickly or what I personally enjoyed. But should I review the whole show? I think when I first did the premiere on Netflix, I think it went okay, but I'm not sure. And I want to do this for you guys' entertainment. So please hit up that poll. Your opinion really doesn't matter to me on this channel, as we are slowly but surely growing. And I thank y'all so much for watching and supporting. Thank you. Keep liking and sharing. Yeah, anyway, now, sorry, I'm signing off. Keep it casual. See you soon, guys. See you for Wednesday Night Dynamite, where you will finally see me review Dynamite in an AEW shirt. I ordered 3 of them, so yeah, we'll see you soon. Peace.